Hey, folks, how y'all doing today?
Welcome. It's Rat Chat tonight.
Yep. And,
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
We are the Rats. I'm Todd, and this is my beautiful wife,
Renee.
And we're glad that you joined us today. And something very important is happening tonight. We have guests.
Now,
if you'd like to introduce our guest, please.
So our guest is the $1 Million Peddlers.
Yeah, absolutely.
So this
like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
Absolutely.
Okay? Well, I'm super excited for you guys. We were on your channel, and
Yes.
I'm super excited for you guys to be on ours. Todd has lots of questions for you, so you are get ready to be interrogated.
But let's introduce them individually first.
So this is Dave, Papergoy.
Papergoy.
And this is Chuck, and that is Mr. Magazine.
Mr. Magazine.
Got it.
Yeah, so we are extremely happy that you guys are here, and I can't wait for everyone to learn about you guys.
Yes.
And learn some tips and tricks. And
I said we've been catching your show and learned a lot from you gentlemen. You have been in the field a lot longer than we have. You're very knowledgeable, and I'm like going, okay, write this down, ask questions. Write this down, ask questions.
So the one thing that we like to do is we are never, ever in competition with anybody else or any other reseller. We like to learn from people who we admire, and we like to learn from people who are successful. So a lot of people in today's world get very envious or jealous of people who are very successful.
Yep.
We Rats do not. We actually want to be a part of your little circle.
Yes.
We want to learn everything from you, and we want to be like you.
We want to absorb the knowledge. We're like sponges.
Yes.
Just soak it in and going, okay, now how can we take this advice and use it to go forward?
So we have we had the pleasure to meet you, Dave, and your wife at the last 2 or 3 ephemera shows.
Yes.
The paper
Allentown Paper Show. Yep.
Yeah, the Allentown Paper Show. We are dealers there because we did acquire a large collection of paper.
Yes, we have.
And we're like, well, we have to sell this somehow. How do we sell this? And I Googled, and I'm like, hey, there's a paper show. And Chris from Cool and Common.
Yeah, he was on your show last time. I saw him in the comments he was making.
Yeah, Chris from Cool and Common. He said, hey, I'll go with you. And then next you know, we became dealers there.
We have a booth together.
And we were really awesome. It was nice to meet you and your wife.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to shut up now. And
no, she won't.
I'm going to.
Well, actually, can I hijack the show momentarily?
Yeah, go ahead.
Please, go right ahead.
I know you sell over on Whatnot.
We do, yes.
We do.
Which categories do you sell over there again?
Well, we started with vintage decor, and that blew up beyond control. So anytime you go on vintage, I just got a notification the Rat Stash is on.
Oh. All right, I gotta go. We gotta go watch that.
We started on vintage decor, but vintage decor, when we started, it was not so many people on it. Now, if anytime you go in there, you're in competition with 20 plus shows going on, right? So now we are doing an estate sale, garage sale, storage unit section, and we do ephemera. So we do those two.
And the reason I was asking is because you were saying that you have no competition, and on Whatnot, there really is such camaraderie down on the book side and the ephemera side. In fact, there was a situation the other day at one of my auctions where a book sold for somebody bid on it for $3, and somebody outbid them for $4, and then realized that they had that book already about 3 lots later, and said, "Hey, give it to the person that had I'll pay for it. Put it in with the stuff you're sending them." And
that was nice.
Yeah.
I tell you what, I love Whatnot. I know there's some categories I wouldn't touch or wouldn't go in.
Yes, absolutely.
Like the card breakers, that's nuts.
No,
the Funko section, that's crazy.
I sit and watch them.
And I tell you what, we did sell a little bit in the Disney section.
Yes, we did.
And I can tell you the people in the Disney section, sorry, but they are ruthless.
And that's funny because I've got a show coming up in the Disney section. I've got a week's worth of Disney shows. I got 4 Disney shows over on Whatnot. Some of it is in the book section just because the media mail shipping.
Oh,
but
right.
But then the other ones, the other 3 are all in the Disney section. And I've heard things over there and I'm like, you know something? Whatever. I got the stuff right. I'll sell it right. And it's a 1 or 2 time, auction when I'm going to be there. So if the Disney people don't like it, whatever.
Is it very, is it cutthroat?
We had a lot of other sellers come on our show when we were doing Disney pins, and they were putting comments in that our pins are knockoffs, don't buy from them. And they were putting their own links in.
Oh.
So they were really crazy. And I'm like, I went through them like ban. But that is the only section that I came across that is really, but it's let's just say it's filled with a lot of Karens.
Well, everything I'm selling will primarily be there's 1 plush. Otherwise it's all ephemera. And
so that's what you probably won't. They probably won't. It's like I said, we bought a whole bunch of pins, and it was in the pin section, and they were just
ruthless.
Woo. Yeah, ruthless,
cutthroat.
Yeah, and then to be honest with you, I sell the pins in the estate and yard sale section, and I do just as well.
Yep, exactly.
So,
and speaking of all things cool and common, Chris.
All things cool and
Chris,
common.
how you doing, buddy?
Chris. There's my partner in crime for the paper show that's
see
coming
him in a few weeks. About a month.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hijack this again. I got to tell a quick little story.
Oh, please
so
do.
You just said partner in crime. There was a situation in Rochester 10 years ago with a couple of insurance agents that got busted, and they were basically, not to go too deep into weeds about insurance, but they were writing false insurance certificates, and they were lying on applications, all that kind of thing. And they ended up getting busted by the state. Well, I was out there for my day job doing something because they did have some records for a customer. And one of their friends came in, and the husband was there, the wife wasn't. And he goes, "Where's your partner in crime?" I just...
on a total different meaning, didn't it?
Yeah. You want to talk about having to keep a straight face.
It took on a total different meaning. All right. Well, you want to start your questions?
I'll start the questions. I'm going to start with I'm going to go back and forth with questions because a lot of them are very similar, but I'd like sometimes opinions from you or just maybe some advice. But the first question I have is Mr. Magazine. Chuck.
Yes.
How did you come up with the name for Mr. Magazine? Did you collect magazines at some point?
Not really. I was buying them here and there, and I used to read them, but nothing crazy. And then I stumbled across a gentleman from my website that was dying of cancer, and he had 80 or 100,000 magazines, and he wanted to sell them and leave his wife money and not magazines. So we ended up, I think Papergoy went up there first and took a look at it and said, "Hey, you better buy this." If not, he was going to buy it. I said, "Well, I guess I'm buying it then." So it was in Canada, and we struck the deal. It cost a lot of money with labor and delivery and trucking and customs and all that. But and that started us out, and then we just started building off of that, and word of mouth, the website, people buying and selling just got crazy over time. So and then I think on eBay, when they used to rank categories, I think I ended up being...
You were number 1 on the eBay. It used to be eBay Pulse. I don't even know if it's still around anymore. It was eBay Pulse.
Yeah, so without even trying, I was the number 1 magazine seller on eBay, and I didn't even know that. It's like, oh, pretty cool. So then I think my original name was like C. Leone Jr., and then we just changed it to Mr. Magazine. So,
all right. Good story for that.
And back in the days with the eBay Pulse, I was number 4 in, which I don't understand. I was number 4 in minor league baseball items. And I'm going, I got like 7 up. There must be absolutely nobody selling minor league baseball.
Not, Ironically, we actually, when you come down to Allentown, we have a minor league team down here.
I could have been Mr. Minor League.
Yeah, sure.
Well, it's funny, if you're near Rochester, that's one of the teams we weren't playing a lot. It was Rochester.
Yeah.
We're at the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs, which is the Phillies minor league team.
Yeah, we're the Red Wings up here.
Yep. Red Wings up here. Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
So, Dave, Papergoy. Can you explain that, please?
Back in the day, I was changing my name as well, and I wanted to be Paperboy, but that was obviously taken.
Mhm.
So then I said, "Oh, I'll be Paper Guy," and that was taken as well. And then all of a sudden, I go, "Wait, what if I put the two together? Papergoy and Goyim is what a Jewish person refers to a non-Jewish person as. We're
Okay.
Goyim, and I am Goyim, so I've said, hey, I could be Papergoy." And just kind of went with it from there. And East Coast people tend to laugh about it. Everybody else has no idea what I'm talking about.
Now, if you're watching the show, they know.
That is true.
That's
That
very
is
cool.
true.
All right, good question. Thank you.
Or I could say, oi, they.
Oy vey.
Oy
Oy.
Hey, the Michigas.
Hey. All right, Chuck.
Yes.
Watching your last show,
Okay.
He doesn't even do that.
you talked about an upcoming trip to Washington State.
Yes.
You're going to go out there to buy a buku amount of DVDs.
Yep.
I believe you mentioned 100,000.
That's what we estimated to be there. Yeah.
Yeah.
The seller says there's 100,000. I already previewed it a year or two ago, and he wanted too much money at the time. I said I just can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
And he must have tried and shopped it elsewhere, and it's a tough sell regardless. You need
Right.
you need some a big truck. You need it's a long drive.
Well, you need the right buyer.
You need the right buyer.
Comes down to.
A lot of money, a lot of storage facilities. So
Mhm.
it wasn't for everyone. I knew he would sit on it for a while, and he finally called back and he lowered his price like 75%.
Wow, it's a heck of a deal. And if I heard you correct, you mentioned a lot of them are for adults.
Yep. Yeah, it's
Now,
yeah.
when you put these up and you go through your various outlets for this,
Yeah.
are you worried about flooding the market?
No, we have a system. We sell most of them on there's a place called Adult DVD Marketplace. That's our main selling hub for that.
Okay.
And then there's certain things you can't sell because certain production companies don't give them the rights to sell their products. So we put those on our website.
Okay.
So those are the two places. But yeah, it's
Well, I also think, and I haven't seen the collection, but there aren't a lot of dupes in there, are there?
no, there should be no
Yeah.
dupes. The problem is you got to weed out there's some bootlegs in there. So we got to go out there. It's going to be a crew of 4 or 5 maybe, and separate the bootlegs from the legit ones and put all the legit ones in the truck in case they won't all fit in because it's the trucking is like just $8,000 for the truck alone. That's without gas, labor,
Right.
mileage, all that jazz. So to rent 2 trucks, then you're talking double the gas, double the labor, double the trucking. So I told the guy, we're going to fit in everything that's legitimate, take the rest that's bootleg, and whatever doesn't fit, he's just going to have to curb it or give it away. So we had some stipulations to do the deal, and he said no problem.
That's an undertaking out there.
I'm wow.
Yeah.
So now I guess I have a follow-up question.
Please
Okay.
do.
So with that, the DVDs, now regular DVDs, I see that they're harder to sell. Like I've seen them at flea markets and stuff. The price keeps coming down and down and down because of streaming.
Yeah.
But now adult videos,
Mhm.
there isn't really a thing for streaming on that, correct? Or is there?
You can get free snippets, 5-minute scenes here and there, but I don't think you can stream the whole movie unless you pay it off the production company site.
Right. Okay. So that having the physical media of that, that's not something that is a risk as much as a risk of regular everyday movies.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely.
Well, and even I don't know if you saw this or not. We had on our live show a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, CDs to listen to are actually making a comeback because people want the physical copy. The streaming is a different experience. And then you're running into all the problems, especially with video games and that kind of stuff and various products where things are getting bricked and all that by the manufacturers. And there's no more support for stuff and this and that. Whereas if you actually have a physical copy, you own that copy as opposed to whether you realize this or not, you're only renting when you're streaming, even if it is in your digital library. Because if that company were to go under, what do you have?
Right. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. Because now we, our personal collection, we've downsized a lot of just every average.
Yeah, we've
videos
done around
stuff.
200 or 300.
Yeah, we got rid of.
We used to have a lot more than that.
Yeah, we got rid of those, but because streaming is nice for every ordinary thing like Disney movies, stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's fine for streaming. It's just the other, which is what I was just wondering about. I was like, I not that I would look. I did not look. Not that I would look, but I didn't think that there was a way to stream, porn.
Yeah. Adult.
Adult
We
movies.
still buy regular DVDs, but preferably rare ones or sealed ones. They're easier to sell.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, and I think the biggest thing out of Mr. Magazine's deal is the fact he's been working on it so long. And I don't know if you saw the haul video that I had over at Madison Bachville when we went over there, but I did buy all of the original art pieces that I had been looking at for 2 sales before, and been talking with the guy. And the sale is every August, and then it's in first week of June, and then it's in August again. And likewise, there's a gentleman at the Allentown Paper Show who has some original art that I'm interested in, but his price is just too high for what I want to pay. But if he brings it again, I'm going to see if we can't work a deal out, because it'll be the 3rd show that he's had it there. And a lot of times if you just let people keep their item for a while, you end up getting a good deal on it after a while, because they're like, I've been schlepping it around for how long?
That's it.
You don't want to get tired of hauling it or dusting it.
Yeah.
This guy will buy it all from me, and it's less than I want, but do I want to keep hauling this out, or do I want to just sell it? And that was the same thing Mr. Magazine had there with his deal.
Yeah, you got to really work it.
I really wish you do well in that one, Chuck.
Yeah.
Big time.
Appreciate it.
I know. Wait, hold on. Now let's go to. We have some comments in here. So all things cool and common. Chris, hello.
Hey, Chris.
Adult horror and cult films still sell very well on DVD.
Yes, they do.
That's correct.
They do.
That is correct.
Now, one of our regulars here, CG Anime. Hey, CG.
CG Anime fan. CG, if you do not follow our guests, the $1 Million Peddlers, please check them out.
Great show.
You will love their show.
Yeah, absolutely.
I apologize for being late. It's been a busy day. Hope that you're having a great, enjoyable day. It is beautiful here in Pennsylvania. So yes, we are.
Really? We had terrible thunderstorms up here, flash flood warnings, everything going on up here.
We had 70 degrees and sunny today.
70 and sunny.
Nice.
Yes. Matter of fact, we both wore a sweatshirt early this morning.
Yep.
Now, Chris says many 20-somethings want the physical media again, rebelling against the digital that they grew up with. Yeah.
Unless you're old timers like us, and we still want the physical to begin with.
Our 20-some-year-old daughter wants vinyl.
Yeah, she loves vinyl. Actually, she turns 21 on Wednesday. Our youngest.
Congratulations!
Nice.
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
So she can.
Or sorry, Thursday.
Legally drink.
Thursday's her birthday, 12th. Yeah.
She can legally drink.
Yeah. Yeah. She goes to college 2 miles from us, and we see her twice a year. Up at her sister's house, an hour away. It makes no sense.
She's popular.
Yeah.
All right. Now let's get back to your next question. Sorry.
All right. Next question. Let's go over here. Dave.
Yes.
Did I hear you mentioned about having 25,000 items listed for sale?
That would be a little bit low on eBay. I've just checked this morning. It's like 25,280 on eBay, about 21,000, 22,000 on Amazon, about 1,300 over on Etsy, maybe 1,000, 1,200 over on Etsy, 1,300 on Views, which is over on eBay with postcards, and 1,300 over on $1 Million Peddlers over on eBay as well.
Okay.
Are a lot of them cross-selling?
Nope, we don't cross-sell anything. I don't cross-sell.
So you're talking close to about 70,000.
50,000 actual listings.
Okay.
Between everything. Yep. 50,000 actual individual listings. Yep.
Okay.
All right.
How much time do you spend a day listing to do that?
Listing? It depends. I spend as much time as I have in a day. And by that, I mean, I do list 2 Etsy items every morning. Doesn't take too long at all. I list an item on Views, an item on $1 Million Peddlers, and then I get into eBay. I want to try to list 22 items a day over on eBay.
Okay.
which is using the scheduling. And if you don't use the scheduling, I think you absolutely should, because what it does is it evens your listings out, because otherwise you have a situation where you list 62 items because it's a day when you happen to be home with plenty of time, and the next day you list 4, and the next day you list 2. Whereas if you use the scheduling, every day I've got 25 or so items going up.
Wow. Okay.
And I find that to be a lot better. If it's a day, like let's say that tomorrow I've got a lot going on, I will make quota, but what I'll do is I'll grab stuff like this, which is original art, and I can get this listed all by the same artist, all the same size. All I have to do is change what is on the picture. And so literally I can get 23 of these listed in 15 minutes, something rather like that.
Wow.
So I have things like this sitting around for those days when it's like, oh, I got a super busy day, I still want to make quota. I would list stuff like this. Days where I've got a lot more time, I will sit there and it'll be like, oh, this is a more difficult thing to list. Let me list the more difficult stuff this day.
Right.
And that's kind of how I do it. So obviously in those other days, it would take a lot longer to list because I'm listing more difficult items.
Okay.
So one of our mentors that we work with for eBay to get our eBay store, we got an eBay store now, and we got our eBay store up and running. Now we're a small pebble. Okay. So we have like 380 things on eBay, right? Now we are selling about 8 items a week. Okay. That's what it, so I can't imagine how many sales you get a day when you have that much inventory in there.
It depends. I've got a pretty good size stack of, what is it, about that big going out today. Mm-hmm. So that big worth of stuff going out today. And everything is a little bit higher than that. Everything's in a padded envelope. It's been a good day today. Other days, I've had days where I've just sold 1 item on eBay. I mean, eBay with that many items should never just have 1 sale. And that does happen. Now, Mr. Magazine will tell you that there was a lot of mail going out this morning over at his place. But that's also because I did have a Whatnot auction as well. So I try to get that in as well. I guess the way I look at it is it's amazing how little progress I'm making, because I still think about things in mail bins, because we used to always have the mail bins around.
Yeah.
And every day I'm sending out the equivalent of a mail bin or more worth of stuff. And yet, as Mr. Magazine always looks over there, is not making any change and making any dent whatsoever in anything. Like the way I had original art just sitting right there too. Like, oh, original art.
Well, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. What we based our business on was always brick and mortar. We always we have 3 stores, brick and mortar stores, and we always based them on the brick and mortar stores, and that's where we focused all of our time on, because that was a fast way to get inventory out of the house, have our house nice, and be selling, right? And then we got a little bit bigger. Then we went into storage unit.
Yep.
And then we started doing Whatnot when Whatnot like first came out. And that was awesome, because I could go to the storage unit, grab 3-4 bins, and then it would be gone.
Yeah.
And then in 2 days, I'd pack that all up, and it'd be out the door, and that was gone.
Yeah.
And we loved it. We really love Whatnot. Mm-hmm. I was a home caretaker for my mom for 6-8 months.
Yeah.
My mom lived here. My mom loved auctions. She loved going to auctions when she was little. She always took us to auctions. I actually went to get my auctioneer license.
Right. Pennsylvania.
And then 2020 hit. But I was I was an apprentice. So my mom liked listening to me do auctioneer calling and auctioneer stuff. And we would do it. We would do a Whatnot show every Friday night.
Yeah.
And my mom would just sit there and love it, right?
I thought you were going to say she was winning everything. I go, that's kind of defeating the purpose.
No.
She would yell, like if I was watching something else, she would go, bid on that, bid on it, bid, you know. But when she passed away in November, and I tried to do a couple Whatnot shows, but because I always had it based with my mom, it was really emotional. Like the grief really got to me, and it was really emotional to do it.
Yeah.
You know, I felt lost. So we stopped for a couple months. We didn't do any because I just couldn't stop crying if I did them.
Yeah.
And I was like, forget it. So
now that's the hardest thing about Whatnot is you have to rebuild yourself.
Yeah. Now we didn't lose our 2,500 followers. We didn't lose our followers, but now we have to get back in the groove. You know,
right? They have to, and the problem is they were so used to coming to your show at 8 p.m. on Friday or whatever it was.
Yeah,
you haven't had it for 3 months. They find somebody else, or they find something else to do at 8 p.m. And now you have to get them back in. And hey, we're back, and that's the biggest. Mr. Magazine's gonna be trying Whatnot, and I've been explaining that to him as well. You
got to be consistent with it, and you got to pick a day and a time and be consistent and go with it. And so we're reestablishing that.
Yeah.
So because everything went a little haywire, we went to talk to our friend Sam, who is retired Inspired. We went through him. He has not as much as you, but a lot of listings on eBay. He's told me about how to do the algorithm, how to post every day, list every day, blah, blah, blah. And what I do is some days we will have a day where we can put on, like you said, 50, 60, but we count it out. So as soon as you hit 10, it schedules for the next day. Then the next 10 goes for the next day. Then the next 10, because in case I don't feel well, because I have a medical problem. If I don't feel well, no worries.
Yep.
So, so we do take that. That's a great tip that you do too. Also, is the scheduling.
Chris had a question here.
Chris,
Dave, how has your reselling business or activities changed now that you've retired from a day job for a while?
Well, as I told Mrs. Papergoy, I think I'm going to have to find a day job just so I can relax. The problem with having your own business, as Mr. Magazine will tell you, is you're never done.
No.
Right.
I mean, that's really what it comes down to.
It's like the Beatles song, 8 days a week.
Yeah.
Yep. There's always something to do. And, I was listing tonight and didn't put a dent, but I was listing original art just to kind of get it on just for the heck of it. And again, doesn't hurt to list that kind of stuff. Tomorrow morning I'll get up and figuring out. The other thing I was doing today was I was doing some research on some books that I had and that going, okay, that's worth that. I'm not going to list it today, but now I know because Mr. Magazine was coming by, we shot a couple of videos, but I was waiting for him. So it's like, well, let me do a little research because I don't want to get into any projects. So kind of all the spare time is filled in with stuff like that. Now I know that book, when I list that book, I know exactly what it's worth. I don't have to do any more listing about it. Boom. Or, research on it. I can just throw it right up. So that kind of thing. So you find your spare moments getting filled in just with something. There's always something to do.
Right. Okay, good. I just want to say hello to Dory. She's here watching.
One of our rat crew.
And this one here, just got to say, CG says unrelated, but your pumpkin shirt looks really cool, Todd. I am the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. It's that simple. I am the Great Pumpkin.
It does glow in the dark too.
It does.
Oh, wow.
It does several glow in the dark.
When it glows in the dark, there's little skulls and bones.
Yeah, and
through
the black area.
part.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
It's kind of cool.
So when we go to a Halloween haunt, at Dorney Park, the little kids think it's funny that
my shirt glows.
His shirt glows.
Yes. All right. Whose turn? It's Mr. Magazine's turn.
It is.
All right.
Yes, it is. Mr. Magazine, what kind of goals do you set for your business?
I've always wanted to keep growing and see where it goes. And obviously through COVID, it was growing pretty well at that point. Then we took a little dip and then another dip. And then with eBay, just sales are down 40-50%. I saw it coming and I just put all my eggs into the adult area because that's where, for me, that's where the money's at. It's about, it's about the money, paying bills, supporting my family, and the adult side just kept taking off. So I've been trying to grow that more and more. And for me, it's a lot easier to buy product all over the country because there's very little competition.
Right.
You know, Aaron, my friend and driver, he looks all over the country for stuff, and every month we're going somewhere, you know. So, and I think that way we're growing and growing. We got 15 employees. That's probably the most we've had. Even though sales down a little bit, we get 15 employees right now, and we're trying to hire a few more for the holiday season.
That's good. Well, as they say, sex does sell.
Absolutely.
And we actually straight away found that out at the last paper show.
Yes.
Because of her clever signs, we had several book holders, like magazine holders, comic book boxes, and one said Playboys. One was listed as not so naughty, and the other one listed as really naughty.
Well,
and they emptied out quickly.
It's because the people that run the paper show are Christians, so they don't want anything really, really naughty.
Even though it is very prevalent at these shows, but a lot of it's
more in pinup
40s, 50s, 60s. It's older. It's nostalgic.
Yeah. Sure. So I asked him, I'm like, if we sell it, if I put it like this, that it's just in boxes, you can't see it if you walk by.
Right.
You have to actually thumb through the box. Yeah. And Chris was like, yeah, that sound. She goes, that's the coolest way.
Yeah.
So
and you got a lot of laughs and a lot of attention.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you a question now about the adult stuff. Mr. Magazine knows it. We'll see how well you know your adult stuff. Do you know what Tijuana Bibles are?
He's been to Tijuana.
I've been to Tijuana. I was back in my Navy days. I was stationed out in San Diego for boot camp in the school, and I went down to Tijuana a couple of times. I learned before I went down, I had a philosophy. You don't drink anything, you don't eat anything, you don't anything down there. Fill in the blank, okay? Well, I had buddies who were doing all three categories. And it's like, no, I'm not going to the donkey show. So, yeah.
So what? Well, I don't know what a Tijuana Bible is. You know.
So would you please explain what a Tijuana Bible
is? Okay, a Tijuana Bible they're about this big probably. And they were put out in the 1920s, 30s, all the way through the 60s. And they would have celebrities or Betty Boop, Popeye, and they would be really, really crudely drawn. They would be getting into sexual situations.
Oh, lovely.
And they would be sold. The mob actually was producing a lot of them. And of course, they're not officially licensed products. So
yes.
Popeye was doing whatever Popeye was doing. They would have been sold from under the counter from places. And I thought of that just because of that. And there's actually whole books out there about them and about, some of them are rare and some of them aren't and this and that. When you see them out there, you definitely know what they are because they're really poorly done. Okay. And prices, values on them start at what, about $10 on up?
Yeah.
So $10 on up. Obviously, the real collectors would know, this is a super rare one, whatever, but $10 up. So if you ever see something that's about that size with really crudely drawn sexual scenes in it, you'll say that's a Tijuana Bible.
Tijuana Bible. All right. Let's see this one here. It says, this is Chris from Cool and Common, actually bought out a collection of books about sex, not porn. Going to see how well it does on Whatnot. Just be careful.
Yeah.
I don't know how they are.
The Kama Sutra?
All right, let's see.
Kama Sutra, Zavaria, or whatever. Yeah, things like that. Yep.
Oh, this is true too. Anime.
Yes, absolutely.
Goes into that realm also.
Well, there's anime and there's what? There's
hentai. Yep.
See, it's a little more risque.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I didn't get it fast enough, but she said Jeff Norton knows who the Tijuana Bible is.
Yeah. Tijuana Bible, yeah.
All right. And let's see here. They are disturbingly graphic.
They are, but with really, really crudely drawn. I mean, you're talking about the artistry on that is just like a 7-year-old did it. They're literally just throwing it out there because they were going for the shock value is what they were going for.
Oh, yeah. Well, that era, yes, absolutely.
Well, now we know what to look for or not look for.
Oh, we're looking for it. It sells. Hey, if it makes money, we're going to get a hold of it and we'll sell it.
All right.
There you go.
Yep.
We'll just keep it under the counter.
There you are.
got
In
it.
a really naughty box.
Really, really naughty.
They're just drawings.
Yeah. All right. I asked Chuck that. Now let's go here. Dave,
Yes.
apart from what you sell, is there anything you actually go and collect and look for?
Oh yeah. Just the other day, and I did a little video. I went over to the book show over here in Rochester, and we have we actually have a membership over on our channel. Shameless plug time. $6.99 a month. You can join, and you get all the videos behind the membership wall. And there are over 100 videos back there, so you're paying under 7 cents a video, which is a pretty good deal. And one of the things that I show in that is I bought I did a short about what I bought. I bought a flat of Victorian trade cards and things like that for my whatnot. Well, in there were about 57, I believe they were, N500, which is the classification for tobacco cards.
Yes.
And they were N500 flag tobacco cards. And 57 of them. Now, there's no advertising in the back. They're worth probably $3 to $5 a piece, I would think, is about what they're worth. But they were in the box. I paid $80 for the whole box. Those went into my collection.
Nice.
So I collect sports cards, non-sports cards. I collect comic books and other just miscellaneous things that catch my eye. I tend to collect. I like Platinum Age comic books as well. So there was a Buster Brown Valentine in there, so I kept that because Buster Brown is tied into the whole Platinum Age comic and all that. So that's the stuff that I collect. Yep, absolutely.
How about you, Mr. Magazine? What do you collect?
Anything Batman, Spider-Man, and Star Wars. Same stuff I collected when I was a kid.
Nice.
Speaking of Star Wars, let's all take a moment of silence. That Darth Vader has passed.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Yes, he has the voice of a generation.
Yes.
93 years old.
93 years old. Yeah. Good long life.
Stuttering problem too.
I heard that. Yeah. Can you imagine?
All right, let's continue with Mr. Magazine over here.
Okay.
Is there something in your background that led you to specialize in what you do?
Well, my dad was always a businessman. He started with like laundromats in the 1960s, and then when I was born, he bought a building where we still have our brick and mortar 50 years ago. It was a laundromat with it was like a hobby shop. So the hobby shop turned into a toy shop, turned into a video shop, and it turned into a sports card shop, and then a little bit of everything. So I've kind of seen it all over the years and learned a lot along the way.
You grew up with it, and then you just continued on with it.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Fun. A lot of fun.
Yeah.
Were you always self-employed?
I think when I was in high school, I worked at one place for like a month.
That was a day at Dunham's.
It might have been a day. Yeah. It was before Dick's, there was a Dunham's, and I didn't last too long there. So I'd rather answer to my dad than answer to strangers. So.
All right. Yeah. Very good. All right. Dave, how about your background and what got you involved into the resale and the side?
Well, back behind that paywall, I had an interview with Papergoy. He came up to Madison, Bachville to show with me over there. And he's had he started setting up at comic shows 1982, 1981, something like that. So I was 12 or 13 years old and, going around the comic shows and setting up at them. He was setting up at them, and I was, of course, helping. So I was around it for that. So I've always kind of been around the secondhand trade as far as that goes. And then after I got my day job and everything like that, I started helping out a different sports card dealer up here for a while. And then started helping Mr. Magazine out and kind of got into the buying and selling stuff on eBay. But I definitely avoided, for the most part, selling comic books and sports cards because that's what I know. Yeah. And as crazy as that sounds, everybody sells what they know. I don't, because I'd want to keep everything. So it'd be the worst business plan in the world. Hey, I just picked up this whole box of stuff and I'm keeping it all. Hey, that's a horrible business. So I started getting into selling things that I hesitate to say I didn't care about, but you know what I'm saying. At this point, I value the history in them, and I get a lot of enjoyment out of selling them.
Yeah.
But I didn't care to keep them. I guess that might be the best way to put it. And I find that's the best way to be able to sell stuff, because you pick it up and it's merchandise to be sold to go to a better home, as opposed to, I'm going to keep this. I'd be out of business if I did that.
That's true. CG Anime Fan says, I collect Batman as well, so we have a lot of collectors here in the room. And Nanette here is saying that Mr. Magazine can't be managed. Those who don't know Nanette, it's Flippin' Roo.
Flippin' Roo.
It's Flippin' Roo. So
and
she's
happy
watching.
Anniversary to Mr. and Mrs. Flippin' Roo.
Yeah, happy anniversary, guys.
Yeah, they came to Rochester on their anniversary. I don't quite know about that.
Yeah. So, this is one down here.
Well, another quick thing too is they've actually done studies of a collector versus a non-collector. They've hooked them up to the electrodes and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And collectors' brains are different. They truly are. Different parts are stimulated with different things happening. So the collector has a whole different brain pattern than a non-collector.
That says a lot for us then.
Yep.
Wait a minute. Is that why my MRIs are abnormal? Wait a minute.
Abby something.
Yeah. Wait a minute. So maybe I don't have a problem. It's
you can just ask me. Just go, have you checked if I'm a collector?
She cringes when I started looking at comic books because I have a collection.
Oh my god!
My own collection is about 8,000, and we probably have another 4,000 sitting down there that I haven't even gone through yet. So yeah,
you have to tell the funny story.
What's that? What's that one's that?
Of the deal breaker when we started dating, when you took me up.
Oh, yeah.
Want to hear a funny story?
About 8 years ago, we started dating, and we had a couple dates, and I brought her back to my place. And I had a duplex, so upstairs was bedroom, stuff like that. And I said, I got to show you something, but it's upstairs. And she has that look of like, what's going on up here? Okay. And I
said, you want the Bibles again?
I'm not that type of girl.
Yeah. And I said, you have to kind of accept this about me because it's kind of a deal breaker if it doesn't work out, if you don't accept this. So I don't know what thoughts are running through her head. We're running up steps, and they opened up the door to a bedroom. I was
kind of hoping for a red room. You know what I mean?
Okay. And in this room, it wasn't a lot of leather in there. There wasn't a lot of questionable things. Boxes and boxes and boxes of comic books, and boxes and tubs full of action figures. I said, this is what I do. This is what I collect.
300 and some action figures. Yeah. I call them dolls.
They're not dolls, they're action figures.
And all these comic books, and apparently 2 other women that he'd known and dated. They one ghosted him.
Yeah.
After they found out, and the other one told him that he has to grow up and didn't want to be with him. But
now, did he make you play and like off the top turnbuckle wrestling figures?
No. We have wrestling figures. Actually, we've sold.
But actually,
I collect DC action figures.
Okay.
But actually, what was really cool was I looked at it and I was like, oh my gosh, I love that movie. Oh, I love that. And then yeah. So
then, come to find out, then she has large collections of certain things too. So yeah, it kind of fits together. We just need bigger house, put more stuff in. More collections.
Mine's a little scarier though. I have a scary collection.
She does.
Clowns.
Oh,
nice. Ronald McDonald
clowns. Yeah.
Lots of them.
He's up here.
All right, let's see here. What are we saying here? Got to catch up with this.
Yep.
35 years of marriage, and now our date night watching YouTube.
Yeah. Why not?
Instead of Netflix and chill, it's YouTube and chill.
Yes.
The dopamine rush.
Collecting and making good deals.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely, Chris.
This one's hi, Chris, and this one here is
Batman. Batman jealousy will get you nowhere, Chris.
Yes, Batman sheet. That's sexy, Chris.
Batman sheet.
Sexy.
Yes.
All
Jump into
right.
bed and slide right out the other side.
We had to just give that funny story about us when we started dating.
So, all right.
But yes, collectors are a different breed.
Yes,
Collectors
we
are a different breed.
Yes, we are. Now, I have one last question here.
Okay.
Ooh.
Mr. Magazine, sir,
Yes.
you mentioned having a warehouse, listers, packers, and pullers. Yeah, I was paying attention to the show.
Yep.
What advice can you give on getting rid of an excessive amount of things of old inventory?
I wish I had an answer. I have a lot of room in my warehouse, but the best I can do is try and sell it as fast as I can. So I give my employees certain things that they're good at. Every lister has something they're better at. So I kind of have to, prep it every day. And one employee might be good at $10 and $20 Hot Wheels. One might be good at rare, larger size items. And then there's always things that turn into death piles, but I have death rooms in my warehouse. I have a whole loft, probably 30, 40,000 posters that we never get to because they take long, but there's $50 and $100 ones just sitting up there. But again, I'd rather have my lister listing $20 items an hour than 5 or 8 $50 posters an hour, if that makes sense. But sometimes I end up throwing things out after a while. I don't want to. It's just an easy, quick fix. It could be a box of magazines that, hey, if they haven't sold in 10 years, what am I going to do with these things? We tried lotting magazines, very slow, not much money, and it takes too long to list. So, I'll throw things out sometimes, or I own a laundromat next to my shop, and I'll give free movies, DVDs, VHS, magazines, things that aren't worth us listing, dollar items, stuff like that, sports cards. So that's I try to be smarter now when I'm buying, so not to get so much overflow now that I know what sells and doesn't sell, or what's good for us and not good for us, But I try and store the good stuff and have my listers list that. We're trying right now, even though, and I asked Papergoy this, I don't know, maybe 6-8 months ago when eBay was going downhill. I said, I really should get rid of some employees. I go, I can pay the bills, but things are tight, and I want some freedom where if a collection comes along, I can buy it. I don't know if I'm going to have it. He goes, no, you need more listers. Just keep getting more listers. You're going to sell more stuff and more sales. And it's kind of what we're doing. We did raise our eBay sales a little bit, but Amazon and the website are really doing well for us right now. So more listers, more items sold, more money, and then more empty spaces at the warehouse.
You're not going to say what you should say?
What's that?
You need to check out the channel. We have a 8 to 10 part series over on the warehouse as well. So if you do want to take a look at the warehouse and see, we do have to do at some point a follow-up because there have been a lot of changes. There was a batting cage in there and things like that. That's all gone. All had merchandise now. There was a bat horse in there as well. That's gone.
Actually, the batting cage, my son was a baseball player, so we had a big batting cage in there. And we were saving that room for when we really needed it, like an emergency. Like we have nowhere else to go in our warehouse because we get the 16-foot. You go into Home Depot and Lowe's, we have those units. We have over 100 of those units. Yeah. And I just put an order in today to fill that batting cage area up, and it's like $10,000 just to put shelving in that area.
Wow. Yeah.
Coming next week, but and after that, I don't know what to. But I do have 3 pods and 2 sea containers as well, loaded with stuff.
I thought we were bad.
So definitely do come on over to the channel. They're all together in a playlist for the warehouse, and that was what Mr. Magazine meant to say, but he forgot.
Sorry.
Oh, it's great, great. Thank you very much for that.
Actually, this one here. Look at this. Announcing here, there's a whatnot train coming up on. The theme is a tribute to fellow sellers, and I'm doing a homage to Papergoy.
Wow.
Nice.
What?
He's so famous.
You're famous.
I see this. Almost Famous. Wasn't that a movie?
Yeah.
Yes. Just a good one.
Oh my gosh, that's great.
That's funny. I'm cool and common.
That would be like another kind of maybe a side comment or something for us to talk about later, Mr. Magazine, about having people be a lister or hiring someone to do a listing.
Yes.
Do you give it? One question I do have is not only do you pay them hourly or by listings or however, but do you also give them like any kind of compensation if their stuff sells, or what is the motivation for them to?
We pay them all wage, but we do give bonuses, and we have like pizza and wings once a month. Or I got a computer employee there. He's real good with computers. He does the Amazon violations, and I'll throw him bonuses for something. Or if someone else does something well or sells something good, I'll throw him a bonus. We do employee of the month, so
Yeah,
we get little perks that way. And try and be an easy boss. They can use their cell phones. I go, just keep your numbers up, and have fun, talk, do what we got to do. Because I usually work at my shop with my sister, my nephew, my niece, and another employee. And, it's a easy, fun environment, but we get a lot of work done. And, we got almost 1 million items listed now between all the platforms. It took us 20 years to get there, but, and another, who knows, 200,000-300,000 items they can go on. So.
That's what I'm saying. Like when you have that much inventory, you have to have that, and that's you have an awesome business.
Yes,
I
you
mean,
do.
like
very admirable.
Yes,
appreciate it.
And apparently, my employee of the month certificate must be lost in the mail again.
Yeah, he never got it, unfortunately. So something to shoot for.
Thanks.
All right. Well, do you have any other questions?
I'm out of questions.
You're out of questions.
I'm out of questions.
Wow, that was easy.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad.
Easy. Well,
You passed with flying colors.
Well, you guys know what you're talking about.
Oh, thank you. Definitely do appreciate
it's
that.
very interesting and easy to talk to you because you have all this knowledge that we would like to absorb. We want to be you.
Yeah. No, I'm very impressed, and I'm impressed of the fact of, your business platforms and the style that you do your business. Also, I could have the same tendency you guys do, because I like to go to Jake's. I'm known at Jake's Flea Market as the lady that buys out the whole stand, because I have done that numerous times. But my stuff, like, again, I'm a pebble in the ocean.
Yeah.
Okay. But
you guys are bigger fish, much bigger fish.
So I like the whole idea that you worked, you work and put your time and effort into a deal, and don't just jump on it. You make rational decisions and everything else. So you don't just jump on something, and you really work it to make sure that the output, that money and the time and the labor and everything is right, so that you make a profit on this.
Well, yes and no. Because if you go to the flea markets, I don't know how many times I have told dealers that I hate them. And because I will start looking at some paper, they'll have a box of paper, and I'll start looking through, and I'll go, how much is it? And they'll go, $10 for the box. And I say, I hate you, because the box is filled with paper, and I'm 3 items in, and I found 2 to 3 items that I want. And usually, paper stuff's $1, $2 a piece. Well, if I'm already 3 items in and I'm already spent $4 and you're telling me $10 for the whole thing, you do that quick. Yeah, there's enough stuff in here that I'll sort it out later. So obviously in cases like that, you just bite. You're like, that is so good of a deal. I absolutely know, first 2 items I see, I can sell for $20 a piece, and you're telling me $10 for the whole box. Yeah, I'm buying that box. But that also is how you end up getting a little bit of backlog, because I always say that I've got about 75,000 back items. As I've been looking at things, I think it's probably closer to 100,000 unlisted items. So probably don't need to buy for a couple of weeks.
A couple of weeks.
Well, I tell you what, we have 2 storage units full, and I have a garage full and a basement full. Yeah. And it was really hard for me for more than one reason. I couldn't do it myself anyway, but it was really hard for me personally. I sat here and I was so emotional on Saturday and Sunday, because in the Emmaus Community Yard Sale, it's a town-wide yard sale, and it is the best yard sale of the year.
Yeah.
And I look forward to it every year.
Yeah.
And I even when I'm working, I take off on that Friday. So I do Friday, Saturday, Sunday, shopping. And I was not able to do it. And I sat here and cried. So
Yeah.
it is it's a sickness of it is a sickness.
Now, I have a question for you about the flea market. You say you buy people out. Have you ever thought of, and this is something other that I thought about, a couple of weeks ago, I was at a flea market and the guy had some books and I started looking through the books and he said, I go, how much? He goes, same deal I offered the other guy, $10 for all the books. And I'm like, oh, he goes, oh, that includes the ones behind you too. And I'm looking around going, okay. And then he ended up throwing another box or 2 boxes of other stuff. I don't even know what the heck he threw in, puzzles or something. But then I heard him near the end of the not near the end of the flea market. The flea market went till 2. It was about 10:30. We were leaving. I heard him talking to another guy saying, if you're interested, $150, whatever doesn't sell, buy me out at the end. And my question would be, have you ever thought about if you were running to a dealer like that saying $200 right now, I'll buy you out, and then just selling from his site?
Oh,
because you're into it, right? You grab the stuff you absolutely want. I wanted that, I wanted that, I wanted that.
Yeah.
Because the value of that spot has some value, especially if there's 3, 4, 5 hours left.
Yeah.
And not only that, but then you didn't have to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
To haul it out there, set it up, and everything else.
Yeah. You grab the stuff you really like, and then the other stuff you're like, I paid $150 for everything here. The stuff I just put in the van that I want, I know I'm going to sell for whatever, $500, $800.
Yeah.
Bargain day.
Yeah. You can tell the guy, listen, either you go walk around or you can leave and come back at whatever, 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock for your tables. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So just a thought.
We years ago, well, was it 2 years ago when that guy from Maryland, he was that guy that we were selling those DVDs?
Yeah, about 3
3 years ago?
3 years ago.
3 years ago, we were at a flea market and this guy came up. Now we're in Pennsylvania. This guy came up from Maryland. He came up with a van and a trailer.
Yeah.
Full of DVDs. Okay.
Took like 3 or 4 spots up, had tables.
Back when DVDs, you could get $3, $4, $5 for regular DVDs, right? We were selling them. We had DVDs. We had, I don't even know, 8, 9 tables full of DVDs.
Yep.
We were selling them for $1 because back then we didn't have a storage unit or anything. We just wanted to blow them out. We got them, like $5, like a box flat at an auction or whatever, and we had to blow them out.
We had a lot of them.
And the guy kept saying to me, every time I would, he was saying to me, you can't, I was right across from him, like right across. He's like, you can't sell that for $1. You can't sell that for $1, right? So I said, sir, you can buy all of them and I'll sell them to you for 50 cents a piece. And you can buy them all, Yeah. And he would all day long, he was bitching about me selling them for $1. So Todd got so mad, he goes, you know what? I'm going to sell them now for $0.25 a piece. Right. And then every time Todd was yelling, because we didn't care. We already made our money. Plus we took the ones we wanted. We didn't care. We just needed to get rid of them. You know what I mean? And until the end. And then finally he wised up and's like, hey, I'll buy all of them from you. Yeah, no kidding. You should have done that.
Yeah. We kept him from a lot of sales
3 hours ago.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I mean, I didn't mean to undercut him, but
I did.
His prices were way higher than even not just me, but everybody else in that area.
Got good crackhead prices.
He had really high prices for things. But I was like, I don't care. I don't like them. I don't care. I want them gone. Yeah. Will you buy them? And I for the life of me, I couldn't get the guy to buy them. And I'd be like, you can have them. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Well,
you work that stand and have your wife work this one and we'll go walk around. You know what I mean? I should have did something like that.
Yeah.
Where were you 3 years ago?
Yeah.
Well, that's one of the big things too that I've always preached is I do well because going at the various sales, you find the glass dealer that's got a box of magazines. They want that box gone. They don't want anything at all to do with it.
Right.
And it would be the same as if, Mr. Magazine picked up, a bunch of stuff from somebody, hit a box of glassware in there. If I came in, he would just give me the glassware. He'd be like, get it out of here, because it has no value to him. And
I might even throw it at him.
No, that's absolutely true. You can see some of the funny things where if you go to a yard sale, I always laugh at something that is worth money. They have like 25 cents or 50 cents on it. And then something that is like a die-cast NASCAR, they'll have like $25 on it. And I'm like, you kind of should maybe reverse that.
But it's not our job to educate them.
No.
But we get the deal.
Funny thing we always used to say, it's like, we're not educators. We don't have an education degree, so it's not our duty or job to educate you.
That and the other thing, as we say, is there's no friends at auctions.
No, absolutely not.
No,
absolutely.
Afterward, before, during, no. I want it. I'm getting it. When you run out of money.
And it is amazing though when you're out there and you go around to any show. I mean, there are some people whose prices are just outrageous and you just can't buy from them. But pretty much everybody, I mean, we all make our money by knowing a little more than the other guy, or having an outlet they don't have, or being willing to put the time in that they're not willing to put in, is what you get down to. And like you go to an estate sale, and I've always we did a video a while ago about the best thing that I can know is to know your business plan. Because if I know your business plan and you know my business plan, either we can work together or we can't work together. Yeah. And if your business plan is you go and you clean houses out, you love me because you are getting another house next week, another house the week after, another house the week after, and you know that I'll buy paper. Guess what? You don't care what you're getting for it. You want it all gone.
Yeah.
The flip side of that is, of course, I signed up that I'm taking it all. Yeah. And that's the flip side. I can't go through and go, well, I don't really want that. And I don't want that. No, you're taking it all. And that's just the deal that you end up making with the people. So knowing what their situation is, and if they want to sell or they don't want to sell, because there are some people out there that you've seen them any number of times, Mr. Magazine, they don't want to sell.
No,
it's like it's show and tell. It's elementary school show and tell game. Wait, hold on a second.
We call them museum dealers.
Yeah, we call it. We say it's show and sell, not show and tell.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But you know what? Speaking of what you said about knowing a business plan, we had a fantastic situation that happened earlier this year, and our friend Dory, who's on here, really helped us out. There was an estate sale in the middle of Bumble Hell town, like you to drive 5 miles into nothing but wooded trees till you found this place. So nobody was coming to this estate sale. This estate sale had, and I'm not even exaggerating, 2,000 occupied Japan figures.
This person who had this collection
was in the Guinness Book of World Records.
For the second most occupied Japan figurines.
Guess who now owns them all?
No.
Well,
about a quarter of them.
More.
Yeah.
Us. Because Dory was like, they are not selling them. They've had the estate sale Friday, Saturday, and now it was Sunday. And she said the tables are full. And I'm like, all right. It was 105 degrees out. Oh. No air conditioning in the house. It took us almost 2 hours to wrap them all and pack them up and take them out.
Wow.
Yeah.
I am now, let me give you a plug. I'm in a whatnot train called Made in Japan. I'll be in that at the end of this month.
Yeah.
Wow. Because I'm thinking Mr. Magazine and I have both been down in the dusty basements or the hot attics carrying boxes of books down. And that's a different kind of, but I would take that every day of the week, carrying that down.
And we paid pennies. We paid pennies.
Yeah.
You have to, though.
And the wrapping, they gave us the bubble wrap.
wow.
The estate sale people gave us a roll,
It helped.
a big like bubble boy roll of bubble wrap, and they're all like wrapped beautifully in bubble wrap. I mean, and
Well,
we
let me
literally paid pennies.
Well, let me tell you, one tip if you are going to estate sales, to anybody else, you obviously know this. Don't be afraid to ask how much for everything.
Yep.
Oh
Yep. That was actually was my thing.
Yeah.
You were hesitant. I was like, let's do it. Let's go for it. I pulled a Renee.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, they sold some.
Yeah.
And some, but I'm telling you, we have egg carton boxes. We have about a dozen to maybe 18 of them full of Occupy Japan figures that are like 4 inches high.
Up to 12 inches high.
Do you remember? I'm going to ask Mr. Magazine a question. I'm going to interview him. Do you remember one of the craziest buyouts that you ever did in your plaza?
In my plaza?
In your plaza?
The milk crates for the golf ball collection?
No. You bought a store out in your plaza.
Oh, I did, yeah. It was a Western store, cowboy boots, cowboy hats, all kinds of stuff like that. Yeah.
And he knows absolutely nothing about it.
Nothing about him, but yeah, we did well with him though.
Yeah. He literally he went in and they were on like their, going out of business sale. And he was just like, oh, what do you want for everything that's left? Bought it. And we were walking down the plaza carrying boxes of stuff from that store down to his store.
That's a good businessman who takes a chance and it paid off for you.
You just moved it from there so it wasn't a location issue because the location was the same location.
Yeah.
Yep. But again, that's taking a chance on something that you just don't know at all. But just knowing enough when you're looking at it and you're seeing these. What was retail on those hats normally?
Oh, some were $100, $150 in their original boxes.
Yeah.
When you're seeing, and I don't remember what you paid on it, but I know you didn't pay much on them.
No, it was 10 cents on a dollar probably.
Yeah. So when you're seeing $150 brand new cowboy hat and they're you're paying $10 for it or whatever, $15 for it.
Fantastic.
You just know that and these people had an operating store. It wasn't like they were going out of business for any reason. I think they were retiring, if I remember right, something like that.
Yeah, I think they raised the rent. They wanted to leave by the end of the month, so they had a sale, and then we made it easier for them.
Yeah, so it wasn't like it was bad stock or anything. It wasn't like the guy was going out of business because he just bought bad stuff. It was good stuff. He just was running out of time to sell it
for 30 years at least.
Yeah. Yep. So he knew what he was doing. So that was just one of those opportunities. And that would be what I would tell anybody out there. The joke I always have, and you guys got to come on up to Madison Bachville at some point. It's not that bad of a drive for you guys. But they hold the.
I think it's like 3 hours, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely worth coming up. It's an 8-day show in August, and it's a 2 or 3 day show in June. But as I always told Papergoy when we were walking around the place, there's one dealer that sets up and all they sell is Fiesta ware, and I know nothing at all about Fiesta ware. No interest at all in Fiesta ware. I don't want to do glassware. Don't want anything at all with it.
Is it the small F or the large F?
Exactly. I have no idea even what you're asking me. But as I always said to my dad, I said, if I were walking by and they literally were scratching the scratch off, go, I'll be damned. We just won $10 million. We're done with this crap. You want to buy it all for $100? I'd be in the Fiesta ware business, even though I don't know the first thing about it. And that's what you have to be. You have to be open to the opportunities. And I know Mr. Magazine always is. He always talks about things like accordions. Walk in and he buys them. Doesn't know anything at all about accordion, does a little research and says, I can make some money on it. And he'll buy anvils. Anvils, the other big one.
I heard about anvils actually.
Yeah.
All right, and then it looks like we're getting a reunion here. Let's all go next August.
There we go. There we go. Yeah, I'll show you guys around. And Primetime Treasure Hunter, I'm sure you guys know him as well. Yeah. He goes out there as well. So Primetime Treasure Hunter would be out there.
Hey, let's do a double tap. That's what he does. That's what he does. I watch his shows.
Yeah.
He likes something. He double taps it. Okay. Now let me just say. Oh, all right. Can I go back up here? How do I get up here? Oh, here we go. Look what you just started. Dory says, I can't wait to be till I'm a lister seller for Rat Stash. Now I'll be awesome at it. Great. Now I have to hire Dari.
See, your business is expanding just talking to us.
Look at that. Look at that. Now all of a sudden we have an employee.
All right.
Woo!
Yeah, good.
And I probably get her, and I could probably get Tiffany.
Tiffany.
There you go. All right, we're going to give our last spiel if you don't mind.
Nope.
No, we don't mind.
Let's see. I'm going to just say one more thing here just so I can put these things out. Let's see. Cool in Common said he bought several hundred comic books from a bookseller at the Allentown Paper Show. Told me I had to take them from the estate to get the books, but wanted nothing to do with them. That's what I mean. You know?
Yep. And I don't know what you paid for a Cool in Common, but say the guy paid $2,500 for the whole estate and he got $250 out of you for the comics. That's gravy. As far as he's concerned, he put zero value into him. He got 200. So he, in his head, he paid $2,250 for what he wanted.
Yeah. Right.
And a lot of 12% comics. Yeah.
Yeah. You got
they're not cheap anymore.
No.
Because they're in good shape.
No.
Yep.
All right. Well, let's, we're way over our hour. So let's wrap this up.
Yeah.
Definitely we want to thank you for having us on. A lot of fun. And really enjoyed when you were on the show the last time. Hopefully your people, your regulars have checked that out as well. It was a lot of fun. Mrs. Papergoy does say hi. I did tell her I was coming on. So she said to send my regards to Broadway. Said hi. And do check us out, $1 Million Peddlers. Have over 1,000 videos now up over here on YouTube. So a lot of things. And if you do want to check the membership out, kind of using the whole Popeyes postcard salesmanship, he always says, check it out for a month, binge watch it, quit, join back in a couple of more months when more videos are up. With over 100 videos, you'll be doing a lot of binging. So nothing wrong with that whatsoever. But for $7, I do think there is a lot of quality back there. I give you tips on how to buy in bulk. I do deep dives into certain magazines that are better or not better. All sorts of stuff back there. I do some deep dives with some actual numbers. I actually just put a video up on Saturday or Sunday where I listed my eBay sales from 2002 through 2024 thus far. And we were talking about the peaks and the dips and how, it was real high, and then I was lower, and it was higher. I was explaining the reasons why. Oh, the economy changed in that year, and that was why the sales went down. So it's a lot. It's a lot drier in some areas. But again, if you're back there, that would be more what you're interested in as well. You're not necessarily there to be entertained. You're there to learn a lot of things, and hopefully I'm able to teach over on that as well. So do check us out over there, $1 Million Peddlers. Do check us out as well, Papergoy over on Whatnot. And Mr. Magazine, you've got some big Whatnot announcements to make, don't you?
I do. If all things go as planned.
If you can figure out his password and what phone the app is on.
My phone doesn't get service here. I was trying to use my old phone to get the Wi-Fi because I haven't used the app since they started, so I want to get it ready. We're supposed to go live Saturday. So hopefully I actually hired someone from a comic shop up the road he's a Whatnot, experienced Whatnot person, so he's going to do it for me.
Great.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, we'll be selling 45 RPM records because
to start,
yeah.
All right.
Cool. Yeah.
I have a room of 100,000 of them been sitting there for years. I figured I might as well do something with them.
I'm noticing when Mr. Magazine talks, he's got 100,000 of this and 50,000 of this sitting in these various rooms, 50,000 posters and 100,000.
He's got some big rooms I would love to have. Just the room space itself.
Yeah. I wanted to say another thing about the subscription too, is if you are a reseller and you subscribe, to your membership, you can also write that off.
Yes, absolutely.
Because that is that's part of the business,
absolutely.
So you can write that off. That's for your learning, education, and such like that for your business. So if you are a reseller, always look for those little tax deductions too that you can do. Yeah. It's a tax deduction for you. It helps you, and it'll also help you as a reseller. You'll get the knowledge and stuff. You'll also get the tax deduction, but then you're also helping out a fellow reseller with additional revenue. So it's a roundabout circle.
Yeah.
Oh, and I guarantee you, I absolutely 100% guarantee if you watched every video, you are getting your money's worth. There are tips in there about there are tips in there. I give a tip on one on a sentence to use that will more than, in fact, it saved me $20 at a sale the other day using it. So if I hadn't known, if I were subscribing and I saw that, it would have paid for 3 months worth of subscription right there. Just using a tip that I know to use. Yeah. And I give that as well. So it's definitely worth checking out.
Absolutely, folks.
I believe so too.
We highly endorse them.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, thank you very much
Gentlemen,
for being on.
Thank you so very much. It was a pleasure talking to you, both Papergoy and Mr. Magazine.
And Todd, you did a wonderful job with the interview questions.
Thank you. It's said when you have a lot of material to work with, people want to know. And these two gentlemen, I'll put it bluntly, they know their shit. And they give advice, fantastic advice. So, gentlemen, we appreciate you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us. Big honor to have you on the show.
Exactly. I mean, they're $1 million peddlers, of course. Soak in that knowledge, folks.
Well, I'm about $2 of that million, and he's the rest.
Well,
it all adds up in a nice big pile. You can go jump at the end of the show.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, you have a wonderful night. Tell Mrs. Papergoy I said hello.
Yes.
Sure. Thank you.
It was very nice. It was very nice chatting with you. Very nice talking to you. And Chuck, honestly, I might talk to you about how to do employees, how to get employees, do all that kind of thing. I might
come to Rochester, take a tour of the warehouse, and you can see it live.
Yeah, we might come over and take a trip up.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Maybe when we get to that point where we can do that, I think I really would like to
absolutely
to talk to you about how I don't know the ins and outs or how to go about it. So
yeah,
you would be someone I would definitely ask about getting employees or something.
Absolutely.
Since I've already had my first application.
Exactly. Papergoy's always thought about it, and it's not for him, so it's a big step if you want to start that employee.
Yeah. Well, I already got my first interview.
There you go. You're all set up.
Perfect.
Yeah. I mean, she wants it bad. So if she wants it bad, I could probably undercut her in pay since I've seen how desperate she is now.
Have her come up with the price.
And maybe at the Allentown Paper Show, I'll help you move a couple of boxes, and you can send me an Employee of the Month certificate, given that the other one hasn't made it yet.
Do that. Yes,
I'll have one printed for you.
Oh, yes. Thank you.
I've got two sports units around, so.
All right, you guys. You have
a
wonderful
thank you.
night.
Take care.
Gentlemen, thank you very much. We appreciate you.
Take it easy. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.